Alright guys, it's Sunday now. We mowed this hay Friday morning, Thursday evening and Friday morning. Flipped it Friday evening and it's pretty much ready to bale. Just waiting on the dew to dry off. Got the New Holland 256 hooked up to the Massey Ferguson. My dad's going to rake. I just hooked up this roller to the Ford. I got to put a little grease in it, oil the chains, and so right here is your twine knife. Your arms come back and your string's pulled like this because it's going on the round roll. And it just hits that knife and cuts it. If these dudes ain't sharp, it does not. It can make for a very aggravating day. So I just come through. This is part of routine maintenance anymore on this thing. Just come down here and loosen these a little bit. Pull your old blade out. Put it somewhere where you won't roll over on it and cut yourself. Get you a new one. Slide him in. And tighten it back up. Dad went on down and he started raking. So here in just a minute we'll go check on him, see if that stuff's dry enough to bale. And then there's a little twine arm, so we got another one. Over here on this side, he's right here. Our twine up here, I don't know if we're going to have enough to change these over or not. But just in case, I'll go ahead and tie a new string right here. It sucks having to feed new string in this dude. I usually just tie a square knot in here, but it's fine. Make sure it's good and tight. Do the same thing with this guy. Okay, cut her tails off a little, just so a little less likely to catch on something. That's that. We should be ready to start. We'll go down there and check on Dad, see if this stuff's dry enough to start or if we need to let it set for a minute. Well, Dad's got this last field down here, right? 4 decent wing rows off of it. Let's see how it feels. Oh man, that's dry as it can be. That feels pretty good. This up here, it's been in the shade all morning. It's going on 12:30 now. We usually like to save this till last because it always takes longest. Yeah, that's got just a little bit of moisture in it. I'll come down here and roll this. What's in the sun? Yeah, this is some good looking stuff. This stuff is a little thin, so normally we can go up and down one time and we got a good windrow, but it's so thin we usually get about 3 or 4 passes, and that'll make one windrow. Just made it a little bit easier baling. We got our first bale made. It's looking pretty good. Good and tight. String looks good. Probably gonna put a little extra string on these. This second cut stuff is pretty fine. I don't want them falling apart. We'll throw a little extra string on it. So far, so good. This stuff up here is real thin. That's bad. This little rectangle he's raking right now, it might be an acre. Sometimes we usually get at least 2 rolls off of it. Most of the time probably closer to 3. He's raking every bit of it in 1 windrow. We usually have about 4 windrows. See, we got about a 3-foot bale in there now. We'll see if we, I'm sure we'll probably finish this bale, but that'll probably be about it. This field here is rough as it can be, as you can see right there. Super rough. And it's bad shape, aggravating the rake. We got all these ditches cut in it because it stays wet in here. Without them, you couldn't touch this thing in the spring. But we make do with what we got. To him. Wasn't real hard to do that. As thin as it is, he's got to make up a lot more ground than I do. But we're about done now. We got probably 3 acres left. I think he's finishing it on that one.
can't remember if that's counting. I still got a roll in the baler. I don't know if that's counting that one or not. But we got it all rolled up in the bale. We'll line these up in groups of 7. That way the guy that buys the hay off of us, he calls 7 at a time. We'll get them ready for him to come pick them up.